Alright guys, so I decided to do all the work on my own for processing this deer. I cleaned up the skull on my own. I basically simmered it and removed all the meat and then let it dry out. So I got a European mount. There we go. But it took a while. Previously I had done a skull that I let dermestid beetles kind of eat away at the insides, and it helped a lot when I finished the process, because most of the insides were all taken care of by the dermestid beetles. But in this case I just did it all myself, and you know, there was a bit of smell as in the drying process, because some parts you just can't get at, but it dries up and then the smell is gone. And I also use like dish soap and things like that, so try to get rid of all the oils. So everything turned out pretty good. I don't bleach the skulls. I just kind of keep that natural skull look to it, so it doesn't bother me. Anyways, I'll hang that up eventually. But with the actual carcass itself in butchering, so I had this big cooler that when I went hunting I purchased this so that I can put all the meat in here, because let's face it, when we first start hunting, a lot of the days are still hot, so I wanted something big enough to keep the entire deer in, and I could keep some ice in as well. So this is a Pelican case that what is the liters? Does it say on there? Anyways, I can't remember, but this is like a 150, so I'd have to look at the details on it again. It's a big cooler anyways. And what I did is when I got home, the day I got home was my last day off, so I had limited time to kind of butcher the deer, so I basically had to put some of the quarters into the freezer, still in their game bags, but make sure you put plastic bag around the actual quarter when you put it in the freezer, because otherwise they'll all stick to each other, and the plastic keeps it separate from freezing to whatever's inside the freezer. And then now on my days off, I basically am thawing it out. I'm not sure if this is a good, I don't think this is good to do, but regardless, I have no choice. So I put it in this cooler for a couple days to thaw out a bit, and then I'm going to go through the butchering process. So right now I've got my last hind quarter in here, and it kind of gives you an idea. I could fit probably an elk quarter in this size of cooler. So this is a mule deer quarter, hind quarter, and yeah, I'm learning as I go. I basically watch some episodes on YouTube on how to process the deer, and I'm just gonna basically go at it. So here we go. Alright, so in this process that I chose, some of the meat is actually turned brown, so I'm actually going to remove a lot of this outside portion of the meat and just discard it. And it's a little bit difficult at first to try to figure out all the muscle structures, but I find that as I go along, it kind of shows itself, and then you just basically follow the muscle structures as they come apart. So but yeah, there's obviously going to be a lot of meat that I have to remove. Some people use what they call pink butcher's salt, and what that is to preserve the meat. I think they do that in certain processes when they maybe make sausages or any sort of dried product or whatever, jerky and things like that. You'll see that sodium nitrate is added to it, and sodium nitrate and salt makes up this pink salt that they use. It's mostly salt, but a certain percentage of it is sodium nitrate. But sodium nitrate is is a chemical that's kind of considered a toxin to humans. So I don't like to use it, but they say that it prevents botulism from forming onto the deer. So a lot of guys use it, and they feel safer from it. So I just feel as long as I try to keep it as clean as possible in the end and freeze it right away, then I should be able to avoid a lot of any problems that might arise. So, but again, I'm a rookie at this, so don't take my word for it. But yeah, here we go. So at this point, guys, you can see how I've started peeling away the different layers of meat that I will clean up, see what I can get out of it that's not already turned on me, and starting to expose some of the different muscle structures in here. And so it's still a little frozen underneath, so it's a little bit more difficult to do in this type of circumstance, but it's still somewhat peeling away, and you can start to see the different shapes of muscle, and it'll help you separate those muscle groups afterwards. So, but yeah, right now it's just a matter of kind of peeling away the outer layer to expose those muscle groups. And again, I'm a rookie at this, so there's some things that I'm probably cutting through that, like that. I'm not, maybe I'm not supposed to be cutting through that section or not, but I'm learning as I go as well. So my whole thing is just do it, and the more times you do it, the easier it will become, and you won't be as afraid the next time you try it. You just go for it. But this is actually interesting to me to learn about the different muscle groups and the biology of the animal. So we'll continue at it. So I'm noticing that some parts you can almost just use your fingers just to start separating the meat. Helps you not cut into the meat as much, but yeah, again, it's frozen pretty good in there. So the more I'm separating this, the easier it's becoming. So I've kind of separated this leg, bottom portion of the leg, away from the other meat, and I made an incision so I can cut through the bone here. Actually, I'm basically cutting through in between the bone and through the cartilage. And this piece here, it'll become the ossobuco type of meat that if you cut the meat like this, you'll have the marrow inside, the bone that you can utilize, but the meat around that bone, there's different ways to prepare it, and ossobuco is one of them. Clean that up still, and then that'll help you start separating the meat more so, and getting it away from the internal leg bone that's in there still. So I'm on the last section of meat. I believe this is considered the sirloin tip. And I'm just trying to get it away from the bone, and it being frozen has been kind of a challenge. Still not trying not to cut into the meat as much. I'm trying to just keep it as clean as possible, and follow the bone.
but little by little I'm able to get it done. And by no means use this as an instructional video. This is just my experience doing this the first time on my own. I've done the other hind quarter once, so other than doing it with other people, watching it online as well, this is really my first time doing this. So you're going to see a lot of things that a lot of experienced guys wouldn't struggle with and would do completely different. But again, I'm just taking my time and trying to learn as much as I can through this process. And it'll become easier every time I do it, so always learning. And I like to make the calls myself as to, what's good and what's something to throw away. Some of this meat I've put aside because I'll actually, even though I've trimmed away a lot of the darker brown meat, I've kept some of this in order to give and grind up for my cat. So, you can give it, if you feed your cat or dog raw meat, and this is a good way to utilize some of the meat as well, which, we feed our cat all raw meat, so he enjoys having some wild game as well. But, this roast here, again, I think it's called the sirloin tip, and, I'm sure there's ways of cleaning this up still a little more. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to separate maybe this section as well. As you do this, you kind of see different parts that separate. They have like that silver skin membrane in between them. So I've been separating the muscles based on those type of characteristics in these spots. Yeah, it looks like this section here is separate from, maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, again, I'm not sure of all the different parts of the animal. I know that somewhere in here there's what they call a round tip, or no, a bottom round, top round, and an eye of round. I'll show you guys here in a sec. I can't tell you exactly which part is what, or even what this part is that I just separated. Maybe that's just not really called anything, I don't know, but I can make that piece into ground meat. But I think that there, cut into it a bit, but I think that part there is the sirloin tip. Sorry if I'm getting it wrong though, but as far as from what I've seen online, that's what this piece here is, and we'll make that into a type of roast. And then just making sure I can see everything here. And so I'll lay out some of this meat and then kind of show you what I've broken it down into. So here it is. Again, I'm not sure what the top round is, what the bottom round is. I'd have to review the video again, but this kind of gives you an idea of how I broke this down into the different muscles. And that again, I believe, is the sirloin tip. This here is like, it was kind of attached. Oh no, I think it was on the bottom of the leg. Anyways, it was part of this it was kind of overlapping the top of this leg here, and I have to take this and vacuum seal it soon. But anyways, so that there is another type of roast that I could use, and again, that's for my cat. A bit of meat here for grinding. I think a lot of this is either going to become jerky, or just ground up, or used as stewing meat. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that bone or not. There's probably some good marrow in there, but anyways, yeah, that's what I have it broken down to. So I'm going to vacuum seal it all.